Alright, what is up guys, it is Storm back here with another video, and in this one I'm bringing you Mightless, a My Hero Academia story, part 20 by the Mysterious Banana. Now, if you want to go check this story out for yourself, the link to it will be down in the description below. But before the video begins, if you like the content you're seeing, be sure to subscribe, like, and comment. I mean, they're all free, so why not? If you want some dope channel merch, the link to that will be down in the description below. And if you want to see more of me, go check out my other channels and go follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok, which will all be linked down below. But without further ado, why don't we just dive right on in. As the students headed to the starting line, Izuku saw that most of the aggressive aura emitted by most competitors had dissipated after that modest speech he made, although he could still feel the cold, murderous eyes of Todoroki staring him down. He aggressively walked up to Izuku, glaring into his soul, and trying to pressure him to surrendering before the race even starts. Izuku glared back as Todoroki walked right past him. "I won't be holding back. You've been warned," Todoroki said. "Don't underestimate me, Shoto. I'm always one step ahead," Izuku replied. Todoroki smiled in pity. "We'll see about that." The horde of competitors gathered to the starting line, as the intensity gave Izuku a nostalgic shiver of nervousness down his spine. 3, 2, 1. The starting gun was fired as the gates opened, and the students were seen charging through the gate. That charge didn't last long, as the one leading the charge was none other than Todoroki, freezing the front runners in ice as well as blocking the front entrance. Todoroki turned around, looking at his handiwork. However, what he saw was all of Class A barging through. "You won't stop us that easy," the students yelled in unison, as each individual found their own way of making it through. Looks like more people made it through than I thought, Todoroki said to himself. Looking back, a nimble figure used his small size to zip past the other runners, jumping in range of Todoroki. It was Mineta, who, despite being one of the wimpiest students in Class A in Todoroki's eyes, was somehow the first to come in range. Good thinking, staying 2 steps behind. Now it's my turn. Eat my killer move. Grape. Before Mineta could finish, she was sent flying with a smack to the face. Todoroki, upon seeing this happen, turned around to find the source of the attack, but froze in awe at the wall of machines that stood before him. Every obstacle course needs obstacles. Starting with, of course, our first barrier, Robo Inferno, announced President Mike. "How'd they get enough money to make those?" asked Momo to herself as she came in range. Ice wrapped around the lead runner as his eyes grew dead cold. "I'd hoped for more of a challenge," he said in an icy tone as a glacier sprouted from the ground, freezing the robots in place. "Especially since my dear dad is watching." As the massive war machine became encased in ice, Todoroki rushed forward. The other runners, seeing this opportunity, followed suit. Bad choice. As the position the robots frozen, they didn't have the balance to support themselves and fell, crushing the Ice Boy's chasers. Todoroki didn't look back, not even regretting the people he could have potentially killed. He simply moved on, running further ahead. Suddenly, one after another, the crushed racers popped out like moles, one after another. First Kirishima, then Tetsu, then another one, and another. Then things just picked up from there. But while everyone was trying to power through the massive course, Katsuki took a shortcut, and used his explosion quirk to blast him up and over the robots, catching up to Todoroki dead in his tracks. But before Katsuki could take the lead, he needed to first tackle the second trial, the fall. A deep, dark pit with several stone platforms acting as the pathway, connected with the tight ropes, as a means for ordinary people or people without movement-related quirks could cross. Katsuki already saw that Todoroki was halfway there, so he wasted no time running ahead. But while Katsuki was still struggling on catching up to him, Todoroki, who had just made it to the end, looked back and gazed in confusion, as a question popped up in his head. Where's Midoriya? Being the determined, lively, energetic kid that he was, he expected to see him neck to neck with some of the frontrunners, but no matter how much he squinted, there was no sight of him. Was he that far behind? Did all the pressure get to him? He couldn't think for long, as he could hear explosions coming closer and closer to him, signaling that Katsuki was catching up. Quickly, he hurried to the final trial, the minefield. It was unsettling, really, after the giant robots and bottomless pits. Having the final stretch be a 100-meter dash to the finish felt sort of anticlimactic, until he heard the announcers explain what the course was all about. "I see, so this final course gives the one in first a disadvantage. It's all just a big show," he thought carefully, attempting to avoid hitting any mines. This kind of crap." A voice was heard coming from behind the Ice Boy, as he turned around to see Katsuki, dashing right past him in a blinding burst of speed. "Can't slow me down," Katsuki yelled, as he gained the lead. Looking back at Todoroki, Your declaration of war was to the wrong person, Todoroki. The two runners were neck and neck, struggling for the lead. As they closed in towards the finish line, Katsuki started sending bursts of flames at Todoroki, attempting to knock him over, but as a result, was unable to pay attention to below him, stepping on a mine that blasted him back. With his only competition taken out, Todoroki smiled triumphantly, as he was just a few feet away from the finish line. It seems that the victor has been decided. The first place winner of the obstacle race is none other than... Hold the phone, President Mike. What is that? Eyes were cut off. Just then, Todoroki's eyes widened, as a shadowy figure dropped in front of him, one that appeared out of nowhere. Thin air almost. A pungent shiver ran down his spine as he recognized the face of the one who took his lead. Izuku Midoriya. Looking at Todoroki's face twist in disbelief, Izuku gave him a warm but sadistic smile as he turned around, casually walking through the finish line. The Coliseum went silent, along with the announcers, as their jaws dropped at the unexpected twist. What a twist! The first place winner of the obstacle race is none other than Izuku Midoriya. The silent stadium went wild with cheers. All Might, sitting in the bleachers, nearly fell over and broke his own neck. Back home, Inko clutched her pillows as tears of joy sprayed out of her eyes like a water hose. Back at the hideout, the villains cheered triumphantly as their new leader once again stole the show. The other racers followed soon after, as Todoroki looked down in disbelief. Wait, I call bullshit. Deku was nowhere to be seen. How did he end up in first? I demand a recount. Katsuki yelled out in a rage. Yeah, we didn't even see him. Where the hell was he? Yeah, he might have been cheating. Cheater. All the other contestants started to yell at the winner. Silence! Midnight yelled with a crack of her whip, as she revealed where Izuku was to the TV screen. The crowd went silent as they saw Izuku at the back of the race. Suddenly, a wind blast shot his body upwards, sending him into the air, soaring out of the stadium through its open ceiling. From there, Izuku created a skateboard-sized whirlwind below his feet and flew along the paths, casually dodging all the obstacles, before jumping off the whirlwind and landing 2 feet from the finish line. Hey, isn't that sort of cheating? President Mike asked. Not quite, replied Aizawa. The rules specified that contestants must stay in the course and can use their quirks to their full extent, but there was no rule that rules out flying over the obstacles. Hell, Katsuki and plenty of other students flew over the first trial, while Izuku did go a little too high. People with the wing quirk could have easily done the same, so technically speaking, what Izuku has just done was perfectly legal. We might need to redo the rules for next year, but you have it, folks. The legitimate winner of the first event, President Mike announced. Meanwhile, Todoroki stared in disbelief, unable to register how he lost. Just then, Izuku walked past him and whispered into his ear, "See? I'm always one step ahead of you." Back at the headquarters, sounds of blades clashing rang through the main lobby as Xenia kicked over a sofa to shield himself from Jack's throwing knives. Suddenly, the sofa got sliced in half, leaving a shallow cut in his back. The crazed murderer took advantage of this brief moment of vulnerability and lunged at him with a hidden blade. The shining hero drew one of his scimitars, parrying the upcoming knife, and then turned around, kicking Jack in the stomach, sending him through a coffee table. Like a puppet, the crazed psychopath got up without any care or pain, and lunged at him once more, giving the hero no chance to catch his breath as he swung wildly at Xenia. Seeing how he couldn't win with the fight close up, he jumped back, letting out a huge flash of light similar to a flashbang, blinding our demented executioner. When his vision cleared, he saw that he was now surrounded by a bunch of people all looking like the conductor. Before he could ask any questions, however, they all charged him at once. Jack slashed one of them, but saw that he immediately dissolved into light. Illusions, eh? Jack thought. I have my means to deal with these. Suddenly, in a flash faster than the eye could track, all of the Xenia clones were ripped apart, as coming out of Jack's sleeves were 4 metallic serpents. What the hell are those? The real Xenia asked in confusion, revealing himself to be hiding behind a pillar. These are my chain snakes. You'll like them? Jack asked, launching one of them at Xenia. The hero quickly dodged, but the snake steered midair, sinking its metallic jaws into his shoulder. Surprised? My babies were made thanks to a combination of AI techniques and magnetic plates. Not even I can predict where they'll land next, Jack explained. Bastard, where did a maniac like you get this kind of weapon? Asked Xenia, pulling the snake out of his shoulder. I've been arrested more times than I can count, sentenced as a test subject for different weapons in more institutions than I can count. Of course I take a souvenir every now and then after my escapes, Jack said, slowly approaching the wounded hero, as his sadistic and psychotic smile only grew wider at the sight of the wounded hero. Damn, I can't take him on alone. I called for backup, but where the hell are they? Back with the hounds and Toga. A bloodied and beaten up hero limped towards the exits as he clutched his arm in pain, attempting to escape from the group he just fought. Damn, I can't believe they got Hannibal and Lulafly. We were supposed to be the next top 3 heroes. This can't be the end, he said to himself as he clutched at the exit door. Don't worry, my friends. You'll be avenged. I just need to call for more backups and it'll all be good. Just need to reach the elevators. Suddenly, he heard a voice from the other end of the corridor. The hero struck a battle stance as he prepared himself for the upcoming threat. Dodger? A familiar voice called. Hannibal? He replied as his former fellow hero stood in front of him. There was no doubt. He recognized him from head to toe, a tall, skinny, but muscular man with silky, short black hair and a face of dignity and pride. Thank God you're alive, Dodger ran at him, jumping into his arms. Suddenly, he felt a sharp pain as his former friend lodged a knife in his throat. He only caught a glimpse of the body of his former comrade melting down, revealing a teenage girl as his throat squirted blood all over her shirt, killing him slowly and painfully. That should be the last of them, said Alpha, walking by her and pressing the elevator button. We'd taken this to the 77th floor, asked Tracker, following suit. No way, it would be too dangerous. They would obviously have 100 guns pointed at the elevator doors. Just waiting for it to open, exclaimed Doc. Who cares? I'm craving for another head to bash in. Let me at him, Rabbit said in a warrior-like tone. No, he's right. We can't risk this. It's best to take the stairs, said Tracker. Aw, but I hate taking the stairs. It's so boring, Toga ranted. We have no choice, Toga. Now let's get going, Alpha ordered. Order me around again. That's how you'll get yourself killed, mutt. Toga mumbled as the group walked towards the stairway, with Yang, Irina, and Sachi. You know, I really didn't think I'd say this, but you're not too bad, Yang, Irina said, looting the vaults for all their goodies, shrinking them down to the size of a pill and putting them into a disintegrated box, labeled illegal stuffs. Thanks, Yang replied, switching out some of her firearms with more military-grade weapons. You seem way too quiet. Lighten up, buddy. We're here for you. We gotta enjoy ourselves often, you know? Besides, look at some of these babies, Sachi said, glancing at all the amazing guns and other weapons. Like, check this out. It's so frickin' small. Do you have any idea how long I've dreamt of firing this baby? Okay then, hey look, a Scar 15. Cool, huh, she said, trying way too hard to act like she's enjoying herself. Sachi didn't seem to like this, so he walked up to Yang, who was shaking like she thought she just triggered him. Instead, he patted her in the back, nailing down to her level. Listen, I don't know if it's the fact that you're taking this mission too seriously or what, but whatever it is, don't worry, we're your friends, and we'll stop at nothing to help you. So don't be shy. If you want to go blow off some steam, just do it, okay? Sachi said, giving her a genuine and warm smile. As Sachi turned to the drug aisle, Yang took what he said to heart. Having been against the world her entire life, the only two people she ever trusted was Jefferson and Izuku. But this, could she really trust these people? Her heart started to ease up as she smiled, knowing there was now 2 more people she could trust. Suddenly, a gunshot followed by a girlish scream startled Irina, who rushed to see what happened. "Ah, I've been shot!" yelled Sachi as he clutched his shoulder. "It's all going dark. Take care of Irina, please." Relax, it's not loaded, Yang laughed jokingly. Irina, seeing this, couldn't help but chuckle, before breaking down into laughter. "Hey, cut it out, it wasn't that funny," Sachi said, crossing his arms in embarrassment, as his own plan backfired, causing Irina and Yang to break down laughing. "Okay, I admit, it was a little funny." 愛してる